Meeting open, that was, I needed that today. Meeting is open, are we being recorded?
Yes, I'm
we are.
recording.
Thank you. All right, select board meeting minutes from February 5th. Nope, we still both love it. All right, motion to table. Is there a second?
Second,
Discussion, all in favor?
aye.
Aye. Audience participation, you comment? No, seeing none, we'll move on to highway department, come on down. Welcome, Dave, how are you?
I'm doing good, yourself?
It's not bad. No day tomorrow, so life is good,
It's canceled.
yeah, so Brickfield canceled at like 10 this morning. I know.
Now they're
Crazy.
talking about through the floor.
Through the floor.
I can't wait till tomorrow and it's only two.
Or just a little slime.
Thank you.
So what do you want to ask me?
Oh, Mary had a question about the rerouting of the big trucks on.
Route 20?
Route 20.
Yes,
And reaching out to DOT with concerns about damage to the roads.
to what roads? 20?
20.
2023,
Not our road though.
no, but it's gonna, if those big trucks decide to go down North Blanford Road instead of 23,
I give them all the credit making the left-hand turn.
okay.
The
It's gonna
DOT is-
destroy the road.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's DOT, not. It's way above me. It's not District 1. No. No.
Well, it's from the turnpike, originally.
Yeah.
We should let somebody know that
This is something.
it's kind of come out of our tax dollar anyways.
Yeah, it's just not.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, what do you got for us?
I have 2 candidates for the highway position.
Are these new?
No, these are the ones you already spoke to.
Okay, so you have your two that you're.
You
Yes,
got
exactly.
down the two.
Yes,
Okay.
I had, yes, Alex Petro. And Clayton Therian, 2 Rs.
Oh, I have a James.
Yes, he was supposed to be here. No, we did him already. He's supposed to have a. Yes, not James. Anyway. Oh, it was another Clayton.
Okay,
He passed on it.
Clayton Therian,
No,
two Clayton?
yes, the other Clayton is Clayton LaPointe.
Oh, okay, so I should ask.
Yeah.
Clayton, what are the chances?
Exactly,
And James is a no-go.
correct.
Okay.
And we,
Feel fine.
yeah, so we do have Clayton here already, so I guess I'll go too far to let him know.
Okay,
I'll call him tomorrow and talk to him.
okay,
I will go see Joanne for 2 packets,
okay.
so that we can, full timer, so we can start filling out the paperwork for. on
So
the-
you're recommending hiring
Yes.
for both of them?
Yes.
For full-time, okay.
Yes,
And have we talked any, license holding?
no, that's what we wanted to talk about on how. Clayton is gonna have to wait these 3 years till he turns 21 for a CDL,
Okay,
but he's still available, he's still able to get his hoisting license,
okay,
so. I believe Matthew has talked to him about getting, or who to go through and so on and so forth on it, yep.
Matt has sent me like the links and everything like
Great.
that. Just once I get started, that's everything I'd be able to fill out.
okay,
And I would like help from him because I have no idea where I would go.
Sure.
To go for that.
Yep.
So as long as I can get help from him with the application process, then it would be no issue in me getting those licenses.
okay, makes sense. And what about Alex Tatro?
Yes, I will call him today.
And he's got the forklift certification and.
He-
2A?
Yeah, no, he has nothing also.
Okay,
So we're gonna have to discuss on how we want to approach. Him about getting his CDL license.
okay.
I know that we did pay for Matt's.
Mhm.
Is that gonna be the standard? Or because I know some towns are doing that already and they do write a contract up
Yeah,
on that.
Yeah,
I think that we're open to that.
Good question, on that. We're gonna be renegotiating the contract, if that's gonna be the policy, it needs to be put in the contract.
Yes.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
Are you gonna be able to, function with two more full timers, folks that don't have the licenses?
Oh, yes.
You'll be
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
They can drive up with the 550.
We can drive the 550s, yes. So. Ray and Matt took them around, for a little while, last week or so again, to show them the routes and so on and so forth.
Okay.
Once they do start, start plowing. Ray will most likely be with them and just, show them how to do it, and guide them through it. So,
Okay, so I would make a motion, I'm gonna need Clayton's last name again, can you just tell me?
Durian,
Oh, that was the one. Okay, I would make a motion to hire, Clayton Syrian, to the position of highway department employee.
Second.
Any discussion? On favor? Aye. And I make a motion to hire Alex Tatro, the position of highway department employee.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Excellent. Okay, so you got all the next steps ready.
yes.
Okay.
So, Mike and I were talking about the mini excavator.
Mhm.
I'm going towards the warrant for a special town meeting coming up.
Yeah,
I just want to know what the process has the
we were talking about putting it on the warrant.
warrant, correct?
Warrant Paul's gonna be mad about me. Okay,
It's already written there.
no, that's fine. Okay, so we were, and it was gonna be moving the money from, where were we talking about moving it from?
Free cash.
Free cash, okay. And we've determined that that's available.
I believe, I didn't check.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it is,
Okay.
but I would remember including the cash position and I included.
Okay. All right, yeah. And that, when's the meeting? What's the date we decided for that?
Oh, yeah, when's the
We
date?
haven't done it yet.
Okay.
Make that Decision yet,
We probably should pick a date. I think we were thinking, when did you need it by, Mary? I think she gave us a date.
We have to have the decision to the DLC. I think it was the end of May, before our annual town meeting. That's why it was critical that we did that.
I think we were talking about doing it in April. Maybe the second week of April.
What happened on March 18th?
I thought we were talking about posting it on like 13th. So am I making that up? Am I making
I
that up?
saw that.
The 18th, then we would need to have it posted by March 4th. Is that correct? The 2 weeks?
14 days, yeah.
Does that give us enough time to 12? Does that give you enough time, Mike, if you had to post by March 4th to have the warrant? Okay.
well, it depends how long it's gonna be. I want this to be able to.
Okay,
Have requests from, planning if we are able to fund for,
oh boy,
the money changes.
okay,
And, an article for,
That's the
our year bills,
yep,
the article for the excavator and I review the library article.
okay.
Just the way it's written, it says. If there are two vote for one thing and then entry vote for a second thing.
Okay.
Probably should be one.
Okay, all right,
Still have the high end deal.
So do,
so let's plan for March 18th for the posting date of the board. So we would, want to take a look at that on our meeting on the 26th. 22nd. 22nd? February. February is. 26th.
19th is a holiday. Oh, 26.
Yeah.
26. I'm running on 22.
So February 26th, we'll look at it and get the final approval and then for the
Yeah.
posting next week. Sounds good.
sounds a lot better. That's awesome.
Got anything else for us?
Did Mike mention we are listening to the planning board?
Yes,
Okay, good.
okay,
No, I have nothing else.
all right.
Thank you.
Good luck tonight. I hope it's mild for you.
Let's go. No, we're coming in probably about 4 o'clock tomorrow.
At least there's, you know, we don't have to worry about school buses.
I know it. I
That's
talked to her probably 6-7 hours ago
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah, good.
I mean, the technology these days is so crazy, you know?
Yeah. It's nice when they call in advance. It gives everyone time to. plan.
Yeah, we're test buddies.
Yeah. She's pretty wonderful.
Yeah, she is.
Thank you, Dave.
Yeah, you're welcome.
All right, town administrator.
All right, first one here, I received my renewal.
Okay.
Did you get a copy of it?
I usually get.
Don't,
the-
I
That's okay.
have copies.
I got PDPC and. Thank you.
So that needs to be signed and returned.
All right, so we had already seen,
We didn't see the numbers, we saw it, we were alerted as to what the increase was, but these are the actual numbers that they're being written. Per your request, I also looked at the discount to get
Mhm,
for adding vision,
mhm,
and honestly, it's almost doesn't affect it at all.
okay,
Did the math. For example, the first one. It tends to result in a small savings. For the more expensive plans, because the discount's greater,
mhm,
and a small extra premium for the less expensive plans. And by small, I mean, the largest savings was $5 a month.
no, here,
And
okay,
the largest extra was $3 a month.
okay,
For example, if you get the PTO, the elect, the new rate is $1,394.79. That's for a single person.
yep,
The discount drops it to $1387.82 plus $497 for the cheaper business vision plan, which brings it to $1392.79, $2 less.
okay, so if we add vision and they choose that plan, then that would cost less,
Yes.
okay.
On the other hand, the cheapest one, the network we select,
Mhm,
that one. For family plan, the new rate is. $2,180.69 per month.
mhm,
With the discount, it would be $2,169.79,
mhm,
and then for the family vision plan, it's $1368, so it comes to. $21.83, so that's about, what? $3 more, a little less than $3 more. In other words, it doesn't change anything.
I would say that we should add a vision. plan. I mean, we can use plenty of vision in it.
Yeah. Really.
Yeah.
Now, what do they have now? They have the Blueberry look?
They have the option, correct, between
For the
these,
free, yeah.
these three and then of adding identical, so they can choose between those three.
And the dental is. The total dental is on what I gave you.
Yeah.
That didn't change.
Yeah, I mean, I would make a motion to add the vision plan to the, healthcare, current healthcare plan for full-time employees.
Second. I agree.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Yeah, thanks for doing the research, that makes sense. We can help.
The second item I got is, the letter I drafted
Yes,
regarding the concerns of the employee.
yep,
You said you were gonna make some changes.
yeah, I was just gonna make a couple changes, have you had a chance to read the letter?
Oh, yeah.
And then once I have a computer that will let me type,
And I invited the employee to actually, offer the bottle. because I think that
yeah.
We won't make her happy.
yes, I agree, I like that. Yeah, let me just make a couple notes on it and then I'll send it back to you.
Okay. And this is timely, review of the closing policy, and I've given that to you guys.
Yeah,
Am I completely off track or?
no, I thought, I liked the closing policy, I don't think I had any changes to it, I think my only questions have been. Was there anything that we should have left out because it was, hold on, let me see if I can pull it back up.
Sir David's line, it would you think?
I was just wondering if there was something that was like irrelevant for us that maybe we should. It's gotta be an easier way to search this. Shoot. I always think it's just touchscreen, it's not. One more. Ah, found it. Okay. So we have, there's, all employees are expected to be present at work regardless of whether, unless they request or are granted appropriate leave. So basically, the decision was left up to, the municipal building being pulled by the chair of select board or designate thereof.
I'd rather it be you because you're looking here,
Okay.
I mean, what about when I get up in the morning? When it's at 5 o'clock, when it's time to make that decision, I'm not gonna, the weather's gonna be here. I do plan to be in on some days, but, probably
Yeah,
later.
that makes sense. Yeah, that's fine. We've got I'll just, Joanne, rely on you a little bit. for the
Oh, yeah.
positions. Okay, so then, it says monitoring conditions, early departures, for personnel due to weather conditions authorized by the, chair of the select board, in consultation with town administrator. Delay or cancellation of work for non-emergency employees prior to the start of the workday, Monday through Friday, so compensated employees who cannot report for work when the municipal building they work in is closed due to emergency situation. So that, I guess, if we close the building in an emergency situation, do we want to compensate we want to think about full-time employees versus our, part-time employees.
Well, I think, like on a full-time employee, they're on a salary, so it doesn't really affect them. But on the part-time employees, I'm thinking, like, say, like tomorrow, if they were to come into work and we did get the 8 to 12 inches of snow, they can't come into work. They should have the option to come in on another day if they so choose.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I would lean towards them rescheduling or picking another day. I think there's a lot of work that, I don't wanna, there's a lot of work that has been done from home too, that can also be done from home for some people can't. I think in the past, we've talked about like if you have to change your office hours, sort of what that process is, like if you have to change your hours for that week because of an emergency. Just making sure that they're posted clearly, front door and maybe online for people to see. I don't think I would wanna say compensating the part-time employees
Okay.
if the building's closed.
Okay. I'll put something about we will do our best to reschedule for that week.
Yeah, that would be better.
I mean, it only becomes problematic if the sun's on. Nobody's here on Friday,
Yeah,
but if it's towards the end of the week, it becomes harder to reschedule.
yeah. Does that mess with like them getting their hours for that? Well, cause the pay period's 2 weeks long, so they could still get their hours in the following, if it's not the end of a pay period.
Yeah.
Could that get us into trouble, do you think, if it's like the end of the pay period and they aren't able to get their hours in?
I don't know what you mean by trouble, I don't.
Meaning, like,
I don't think it's.
could that be a
50
problem?
hours work.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't be a problem as far as I know, I mean, that's
Okay.
what they were. I mean, there's no minimum amount. we have to
Okay.
pay. If they work more than. 20 hours on a regular basis, that becomes a problem with benefits.
Okay,
But as far as, reducing the hours, no, it would be if they were unionized, but
okay,
we're not really union as public works.
okay. Question, yes, Paul?
TJ said. Full-time employees are salaried. Who beside the town administrator is salaried? I thought everybody was,
Highway-
who?
Is highway salary?
Yeah,
He is, but not the.
No, they have to write their time down.
They
So
do,
they're,
Not
they're full-time.
supervisor, the superintendent.
superintendent, okay, so not highway, so I guess besides, so highway superintendent is salaried. Water superintendent
it's,
is salaried, and then,
No, he
no,
writes his time down.
he does, okay,
Because he's only got so many hours that he can work. Because of
okay.
his medical issues.
It doesn't really apply to highway though, because highway.
No, they're gonna be working because
It's
they gotta.
working, yeah, yeah. So it doesn't, it wouldn't
Everybody
apply.
else is hourly as far as I know, but that's
Yeah.
why I asked the question.
Yeah, it wouldn't apply to them, then. Okay,
So you were saying
the
about they
salary-
could. What?
Michael,
In the building.
Yeah, that's what I said, the town administrator.
Yeah.
So that's why when you said, well, if there's a snow day, you just work another day if you want to get your hours.
yeah,
Yeah.
for part-time,
Yeah.
yeah.
yeah,
Or for salary, or for full-time hourly. How about that?
They're already working
Unless there's
full-time,
an
they can't pick
Armageddon,
another
I'll
day.
be there.
Don't be silly.
If they're not, if the building, if they don't come into work on a big snow day,
Yeah,
you said, well, they could come on another day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what, Saturday? Because they work Monday through Friday already.
no, we're talking part-time, Joanne.
Oh, okay.
I thought he was talking about full-time.
No,
Oh, sorry, I thought you were talking about
He went
full-time.
and turned the page on.
Yeah. Sorry.
okay, then we got union contracts, policy applies to all general, government employees whose employment is regulated by individual agreement or collective bargaining. Are subject only to those portions of this policy that are not specifically regulated by law.
Mary has a question.
Yes,
Are you okay with us, being closed on the days that Gateway is closed?
it's gonna be up to, we will, what we're saying with this policy is that it would be a discussion between the select board and then putting that out.
Okay, because that's been our policy to close when Gateway is closed, because if it's not safe for the kids to be on the bus, it's not.
I think a lot of times what happens though is the roads are fine by like, 8 or 9 o'clock. And so it's a decision of, do we want to close the town hall all day? I don't think, we haven't had an official policy that when Gateway is closed, they're closed. It's just been
Except
standing
the library
practice.
has made that,
That's fine for the, yeah, absolutely, that's fine for the library.
okay.
But I don't know if we need to close down all town hall business.
Oh, no, I don't
Yeah.
want to close down all town hall.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But yeah, if that's what library
Right to be
policy,
here.
I think that's fine. This one is delay, cancellation, or early departure of work for senior center and library employees on evening, weekends, and holidays. I would just say. So this says the library director will determine if operations in their department should be delayed, canceled, or curtailed, so we can just leave it
okay,
as is for that, that makes sense, and the same for COA. And then just make sure to notify the town administrator. But yeah, I guess that's it, I don't think there is anything excessive that.
Got all black pages.
I got a bunch of blank pages. Yeah. I don't have anything else to change besides that one part, I think.
That sounds reasonable.
I can do that.
Okay.
I had a couple of typos.
Okay, and then we will, officially approve it. We can do it an action item for our next meeting,
Okay, we'll do that.
okay? What else do you have?
And before we go on, since one came now, I just want to announce that the transfer station is closed tomorrow.
Yes, thank you.
Just some information on the library grant.
Okay,
We've been asked to provide, various information on finances, but they asked for a couple of things that I don't know that we have. First off, do we have, adopted policies for debt, free cash, or stabilization? I could find that.
let me take a look, I saw that email. Okay. Okay, so she was looking for data or something, no, which part is, I see town vision, community vision statement, I know we have that.
It was down at the bottom of the policies. If you're looking at the same email. I was looking-
Maybe I have a different one. I see town vision, community vision statement. Data results, information gained from focus groups, about walkability and community planning.
This was not, this was one that request for the.
Oh, maybe she must have sent one to you. Okay, so it's looking for, I'm sorry, what was it looking for again?
Well, a couple of the things were financial policies written, and I don't know if we have those, you know, there's a debt service policy, free cash usage policy, that sort of thing.
I would reach out to Mass Munifin and, what's,
I've already sent-
you did,
sent things,
and they didn't
I
have,
haven't heard anything yet.
okay, they
I
would,
just got this today.
okay, they would know for sure. I think we have financial policies, I
We do.
think I remember.
Oh, we do.
Then I'm
Okay.
Kinshir? Kinshir, that was, thank you, Osha. Yes, they should know,
All right, I couldn't find them in my files.
okay,
And the other thing that I'm not sure you have is a 5-year capital plan. They asked for a plan to 2029, and I don't think we have that in place.
I think that's part of what we were trying to finish up, it's not quite done yet, is that right, Joanne?
Yeah, I told them, I heard a lot of talk about it,
Yeah.
back and forth, but whether it's put together or not, I'm not.
That was, we had, I could be wrong, but I believe we received, some of it, I'm not gonna remember what it's called, but the grant funding where you get that small amount of grant funding, every 2 or 3 years to do a project, and they have them sort of laid out and pick one, you know what I'm talking about? I believe we had picked the capital improvement plan, and it hasn't been finished, but we've gathered most of what we needed and submitted it. I think highway has submitted everything they need and fire, but we don't actually have that document yet, so, it might be a matter of just reaching out, we have to figure out who was working on it and just checking in and seeing the status of it.
I can work on that. I did those before.
Let me check,
Christopher talked about it a lot, I'd be surprised if there's not stuff on.
yeah, that's what I was thinking, there's gotta be something.
There was a big summary on the building committee that he presented to us,
Okay,
that showed the graph of 5 years and, you know, the paying off of certain things and how we could afford.
yes, I remember that when he did the
That-
budget.
That's what I've seen.
Christopher did a lot.
Yeah, do you remember
Yes.
his PowerPoint with the budget that he presented? It was talking about why we are able to borrow right now based on that. And there was something attached to it, but I feel like he said it's just not totally done yet, but we were close to it. So it's just gonna be a matter of checking in and seeing where the status of this.
I think the resilient master plan
Thank you, yeah,
has, the town vision, community vision statement and data results gained from focus groups.
yes, that is all.
That's all there.
And the walkability was something different, a few years ago, though, we did that survey and walkability. That does exist.
That's, yeah, and that's also in there. I don't know if it's in the master plan or not.
No, I feel like that was something separate that was done prior to. There was a group, remember we met and did some walks. But it does exist. It's just a matter of finding it.
So you would have to look under the master plan.
No, the walkability, I think, is different. I think it was something separate that was done by a different group. There was like, I wanna say it was when Josh was here.
And they walked up to the town common
Yeah.
and down, I looked at Kalen Road.
They were mapping routes, for seniors or for people to just walk.
Accessibility.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Yes,
if
there
you-
was hue and cry raised. Somebody wanted to know why all those people were walking up Main Street.
Yeah. The commotion. If you have a hard time finding any of those, just let me know. And Christopher reached out to me randomly the other day to check in, and I said that you might be in touch with them just for finding a couple things that you had been looking for, so feel free.
Okay, I will do them. Next I spoke with, Mr. Humison,
Mhm.
the TA in Chester. And regarding, doing a joint meeting,
Mhm.
he suggested doing it off night with just a single item. Rather than, doing it during a regular meeting, and suggested Tuesday or Wednesday, I don't know what works with you.
Yeah, either of them are fine with me right now, and this is to specifically talk about the grant we received for the fire.
I think it's
Yeah.
more of an omnibus meeting, that certainly would be one item that
Okay.
we talk about, I think they wanna talk a little bit about the water operator, they wanna talk about various things.
And how, and police department,
Yeah, and police, he told me that, part of the agreement was that there's a regular.
yeah,
regular
we're supposed to
discussion
be,
about
yeah,
that, but he said it's not really that critical, and it's been working very well.
okay,
And he also said that he'd like to talk about something similar to fire.
okay, yeah, let's plan something, make sure, Chief do be able to make it, and I would say. Add in, fire chiefs to the conversation. And water, if they are able to make it, water's superintendent or water, probably water department. I think.
Yeah,
But we're happy to host them here if they want to be here.
that was a suggestion. He
Yeah.
said that we had a better room.
Yeah, that's fine. Did you have a question? Jen?
Yes, I need to talk about the ACO car as well.
Oh, yeah, I was thinking that too.
One of the police officers was in today and he said he's interested in purchasing it.
Okay.
himself.
Okay.
I don't know if
Sergeant Frank Murphy, Sergeant Messina is looking to purchase that vehicle. He wants to have it checked out by, old Chief Richie's garage.
Okay.
See what might be wrong with it.
Okay.
He was gonna, put his own personal lights on there
Mhm.
because he's got a dog in training for a comfort dog.
Oh,
And
cool.
he would buy the vehicle and he would also insure the vehicle.
Mhm.
And it'd only be used for the comfort dog and maybe vehicles.
Okay, cool. Yeah, look, we should put that on the agenda when we do a joint meeting with Chester, and then if he's still interested, does he need to get it checked out beforehand, maybe? That might make sense.
Well, I was thinking, the car's been sitting for like, what, how many weeks now? 3, 4 weeks?
Wow.
I
Yeah,
really think it should be started anyways. and
Yeah.
We can do that for you, and I can bring it over to,
sure.
Richie's garage for you if you'd like, and you can, check it out and go from there.
If I have the key.
Oh, great.
Perfect, yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah, the little redhead has the key.
Okay.
Is he, just curious, is he using the comfort dog, with the Chester Blanford department?
It only Chester Blanford.
Cool, that's so great. I love
Most of
that.
those schools, it's, the dog is starting training. We had to wait for the dog to be a year old, I think it's, starting next month,
That's wonderful.
so we'll go from there.
Love it. Yeah, I've heard so many good,
Oh,
about
that's
that.
a great dog.
Yeah, cool, awesome, I love it. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I get that key for you.
Okay.
Fantastic.
Okay.
I'm gonna flip it away.
It's hard
Oh, okay.
everything else I've got there.
Good luck.
In renegotiation, I have received a letter asking to bargain. I responded with a request for dates and times.
Okay,
Before we actually have a first negotiation session, and typically the first session is just laying down ground rules.
okay,
But I would like to meet with the board and discuss, what your negotiating parameters are.
Okay.
And whether you want to put an offer out or wait for the evening. to put an offer out.
okay. We had talked about someone that was going to go in our place as a select board.
Who was that?
That's what I'm trying to remember. I was hoping you would remember. So typically there would be a select board member present in the past, but we had said, oh. At one point, we had talked about Eric McVeigh and having him consult for us. He did it in the past as a select board member.
Yeah,
But then when I said something last time, Christopher answered me and it made sense what he said. I just can't remember.
you're too young for that.
Listen, I couldn't remember what an
That's my job.
apostrophe was last week, and then the whole class of fifth graders could not help me. We had talked about someone that was gonna represent us. I need to remember that.
Whatever,
Where?
I've negotiated contracts with every possible.
Okay,
I mean, with selecting, without selecting, with attorneys, without attorneys, we don't need it.
Okay.
For a union size, we don't. need
we don't need, okay, cool. Yeah, so, we definitely have a couple ideas that we would like to, go forward with, I think. And so maybe we should do that executive session for next time we meet.
Last thing I have was town meeting, I'll probably discuss that.
Okay,
Sorry, that's all I have, if you have any questions for me.
no, that sounds good so far. All right, we've got a payroll warrant number 15 and supplemental payroll. So
Okay, that supplemental payroll came in.
this is warrant number 15. This is a reimbursement, 184.
That's the payroll for warrant number 15 that never got signed. And it's just the adjustment they made.
All right,
I got that. No.
Um, $9.
so motion to approve warrant number 15 payroll and supplemental payroll.
Second,
Any discussion?
no,
All in favor?
aye,
Aye. All right, and then we've got a water. A water warrant here. I'm just looking for the grant stuff. So this one is putting through the vehicle equipment. We're out of the grant. Did we decide to move forward with that?
I don't think that's good, no, I don't know.
So that's the one we held on before, we were talking about. The whole situation, this one here.
I don't know if it's-
Vehicle and
So it's putting, ACT vehicle equipment, $3,130, from the grant expenditure.
that's the old,
That's the one we had held on before because we weren't sure if that was gonna be able to be
I thought that was the truck,
applicable. It is, it's equipment for the truck.
oh, equipment for the truck, okay,
I don't know if we should approve anything more out of that grant until we've met with
I don't think so.
water.
no.
So I would.
We have to meet with water,
So I would motion to approve warrant 16 minus, the $3,138.17 coming out of the shared water operation grant expenditures.
second,
Any discussion? All in favor?
aye,
You circle that. I know that's an old bill on there, itching to pay it, but. Oh, you'll need it over here, yeah. Why is Eversource so, my bill was like $430 this month.
you gotta let them turn off.
They're off. Darn quails. That's gonna be good. So this is the Ash Tree project you were talking about, the 9,600.
Yeah,
I'd like to know like where they cut it.
Which invoice is it, Karen?
It is to ACT, yeah,
Sorry, got it.
that's the bottom,
Yeah, my only question would be just where they,
Yeah, what churches, but
motion to approve warrant 16. Any second? On payroll discussion? All in favor? Aye. Yeah, if you have any more luck than I do, Mike, at reaching the tree warden. I don't know if the invoice says where the ash trees were cut, but
And then once,
He presented the invoices to me and said, I asked Jeff to put a little more information on there. So he put in the hours instead of just saying I cut trees for $7,000.
but it just doesn't say where.
One of them says not ash trees, it doesn't say where.
So. This is
I
not
have
ash trees, but we're
nothing.
taking it all out of the. We're taking out tree warden expenses. Wasn't there a separate ash tree account though?
There is, yes. There's
Okay.
one of those invoices is coming out of the ash tree account, the other is coming out of his outside service account. Including that $488 for the detail.
Okay, so you were saying, so there's the tree warden outside services, that's the 7,200.
Yep.
488 for Hammond County Sheriff's Office, and we talked about having him use. Town.
I asked him if he uses town people and he said only when they're available.
Yeah, and then Chief Dubiel said that he never asked.
Whenever else.
And then there's 9,600 coming out of the ash tree removal. So is Dave still there? No, Dave's coming. Okay.
that would be nice to know. Now, who authorized the, ash tree? Was it the, tree warden or the town?
Tree warden.
Tree warden. So it doesn't have to come out of his stipend.
The ash tree removal is a separate account that is specifically to remove because of the ash tree.
Yeah.
So that doesn't require select board approval, the town approves the money in that account.
And that money is in account for just that.
Correct.
Okay.
All right, and then the special town meeting vote. Was that just picking the day?
yeah, that's.
Yeah, we did that.
All right.
Started that.
No.
All right, Bellfleur,
Could I just ask some questions about that?
the, special town meeting?
Yeah.
Yes,
We just found out about it last week from Bob that there was going to be a special town meeting. We've been kind of waiting for it to happen, and we have these couple of bylaws that we've done. Are they going to be on the special town meeting?
absolutely. We were just talking about that, so we're
I
gonna,
might as well come up because I'm next.
we're gonna put it on for the 18th, and so posting would be the 4th.
Okay,
All right, so we're talking about Bellfleur,
well, I just wanted to add something on that.
oh,
It's very important that that one be on there, the best battery energy storage systems.
okay,
Because of the amount of money that's involved, and we've got a couple of active companies looking at it.
Okay.
One of the most active is the one that just presented to us last week. And there's a lot of money involved in this,
okay,
because it's a big project. It's on Tony's property on North Lanford Road.
okay,
Now, I know it's gonna take months to get this all done, and the project is a long one of maybe a year and a half at least.
really.
But if we don't have the bylaw in, then it's at a complete stalemate. They have to come before the select board, and then you have to go through the same process. And then make the bylaw.
So
So
you're just looking for us to pass 5 for the town to pass bylaws
Yeah.
so that. it-
fortunately, we were working on this bylaw about 3 months ago, we started.
Oh.
So we saw it coming. It just happened a little faster than we thought, so that's why it's in there. But the amount of money for the town, I think, is going to be, because it'll be on personal property taxes. They don't do pilot programs.
Mhm.
And I'll tell you why. They're looking at a field of 200 megawatts,
Mhm.
which is really big. And you can't, they don't do pilots for that, because like our pilot fee is 12,500 per megawatt. Well, obviously you can do the math and go, what?
Yeah,
So, but the personal property tax applies.
Okay.
And without knowing completely what one of these containers costs, that is, fire, rate it and HVAC it. It's very elaborate. This has got to be somewhere approaching $10 million, I would think.
Wow.
So we're looking at a huge, over $100,000, I think, in personal property taxes, plus the land taxes. Tony's gonna lease the land to the guy, so. And the other one that is being looked at is across the street almost, where the first solar field is on North Blandford. A part of their property isn't used. That one's gonna be more problematic.
Mhm.
So I'm not so concerned about that.
So,
The second part I was gonna talk about is simply, I think if this all comes to pass, before it comes to pass, I think the building inspector and the electrical inspector should revise and maybe add some words into their fees, because they only have a category for solar. And this is not solar,
Okay.
but it's to do with energy, so maybe they have to add the words solar and battery energy storage systems
To make sure that.
to make sure that that's covered and that there could be no doubt about it. All the building inspector has is commercial ground mounted solar,
Okay.
you know.
Have you reached out to them and suggested that, or?
I've been really rushing with Edna
No, that's
to
fine.
get this done.
Curious.
No, I haven't
Okay.
reached out to them, and to be honest with you, I just saw it yesterday when I was going through
Okay.
things. I was wondering what the fees would be, and I went, there's nothing mentioned
It's not
about,
specific.
yeah.
Okay,
Okay, so that's that.
like, if you maybe reach out to both of them and just, let them know that we may need to change some language in there.
Yeah,
Um,
yep, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say in their pricing, and if they need to have.
Well, it's not so much their pricing, just their wording to
Their
make sure that
wording,
it's
yeah.
covered. Yeah, Jason, for again.
yeah, is this? I know the property that you're talking about, this is another clear cut. Like they did up by the oldest line and like they did on Chester Road.
No, this doesn't take up anywhere near the space of a solar field. What they said in the meeting was something like 3.6 acres that they would need for 200 trailers. The property itself is 36 acres, but they would only be utilizing a small portion of it.
15, but
How much?
they're scoping out 15 for it, but the actual placement, depending
Yeah.
on where the
This is
conservation,
for the balance.
the
Yeah.
battery storage, I got 200 trailers that they're.
Yeah, it
Oh,
Wow.
kind of looks like that.
okay,
Little ceiling containers, TJ.
Yeah.
That's what they are.
If you actually go on Chester Road down where Sincarfa is across from Lloyd Martin,
Mhm.
you will see out front, because they actually have in their pilot program, they talk about the solar fields and I think it's 7 point something megawatts direct current and something like 4.6 megawatts for their battery storage. So they already, and that's in the wording of the pilot.
okay,
So, and you can see that the size of the trailers that they're talking about, now that's small. I mean, remember, it's like 4 megawatts versus 200.
wow, yeah,
So the guy said roughly one of these trailer, or what do you call them, container is per megawatt. So 200 megawatts, 200 trailers roughly.
Wow.
But they work with us, and that's why we need the bylaw as well, because this will outline everything that we require. It's really very specific. It's going to be a long bylaw. I forget how many pages.
oh boy,
6, 8,
Eight?
something,
8 pages.
8 pages, yes.
okay.
Well, it
Like
was
the
for
table, it's-
photovoltaic. Remember that one?
It's gonna be.
Nobody looks at it.
Yeah.
It's a mind bender for like us
Yeah,
to administer.
Yeah,
but That's the way it is. Okay,
And it's a battery storage unit.
Yep.
Okay, and the power is coming from where?
there's a substation right across the street, and that's
Yeah.
why that's why they're locating it there. And basically, it sounds like, and Edna pointed it out, it basically sounds like an additional substation that Eversource doesn't have to build. It's being put there.
Mhm.
I don't understand and it's not my job to understand their economics, but they must be making money out of it to put
Oh,
that.
yeah.
So they get the high transmission lines are there too, so everything goes into the substation. So they get the surplus electricity that's produced by the lines,
Mhm.
store it in the batteries, and then when you need more power and it's not available, they draw it from there.
But it feeds into the substation.
Yeah, okay.
Are you, is planning board for getting the help that you need through, I know that we have someone helping out through some good grant work, someone who's got locked in the gym.
Ken Comey, are you talking about?
No, the plastic went in.
I think he got locked in there, it's the door, and we went.
Oh, you go out the other one.
Okay. Are you getting the help you need? Had we set it up so there was some extra help coming to you? PVPC. Through PVPC?
Yeah, that's Ken Comey.
Okay, I just want to
Yeah,
make sure.
Well, you know, again, we haven't got into it. He's the one that helped us with this bylaw. We're not smart enough to do that. They're the ones that came up with all the wording and.
They have,
Does that
they have a
need to
group
be
of
run?
8.
Huh?
They have a group of 8
Yes, yeah.
towns
yeah.
that are feeding.
It's a big thing that's coming in the state, and it's happening all over. There just hasn't been, I don't believe there's any in Massachusetts just yet. They're coming.
Barrisville.
There's one in Connecticut that's.
Yeah,
There's
bad,
one in Sterling,
Okay.
a big one?
not a big one,
Yeah, well, yeah, this is,
not that size.
yeah, this
No,
is,
does
this is big.
this have to be run by our lawyers?
Yes.
Yeah, then
Yeah.
it can be
Town.
before that'll go on the warrant.
Yeah, this is, are you talking about the bylaw?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, that's,
I'll get reviewed.
Yeah.
okay.
Okay, are we talking Bellflower?
We're talking Belle Fleur.
Okay, so they are breaking up the process to 2 separate permits and looking for relief.
There'll actually be more than 2
There's
special.
gonna be more than 2, okay.
Yeah.
So they originally paid $38,000 for the permit. The original fee. And now they're looking for relief on 6,500.
Well, actually, their original permit was $39,225.
Okay,
And because of the delivery dates of so many things, like there's a 45-week delivery time on, I forget what piece of equipment it was. For the permanent power for a switchgear, and I guess we've run into this with something we're working on with our own generator. It's really impossible.
oh, yes, it's like 2 years out or
So-
something, yeah.
Well, I think it's 40 weeks, but
Mhm.
it's a long time.
Yeah.
So anyways, they've got one greenhouse up. And they've got another 2 that they'll want to have put on, so that'll be another. What Jason wants is a separate permit for each phase, so there's this one greenhouse, and then there'll be 2 more greenhouses. And then when they put up the processing building, that will be another building permit, so this is gonna be extended over.
Okay,
But they can't have all these things until they get this 45-week delivery time on the
that's
switchgear. So,
okay,
so what they're saying is that when this all happened, the original building permit was issued in September of 2021
Mhm.
for the 39,225. Then they started work on all this stuff. And then, as you know, they ran into nothing but problems with COVID, conservation, and then the construction company. And I'm not sure how up to date you are and all that. They basically, the construction company basically committed fraud. And they took them to court. They had a lien against the Belle Fleur, so everything had to stop. And it took almost 2 years to get this resolved by an arbitrator, because that's how long, unfortunately, these things can take.
yeah,
It was ruled in their favor and they had to pay a small amount, but they were asking for 2.4 million extra, which was basically a joke.
yeah,
They were nice enough, Belle Fleur, to give me all this, because I, looked at them a little skeptical sometimes with all of their explanations, so I want proof.
mhm,
And they did try and sue them criminally, but it couldn't happen because apparently, because marijuana is not a federally recognized legal business, and the construction company knows that.
Wow.
And apparently they've made a few cases like this where they take advantage of them, and the fraud was that they were computer using their signatures and supposedly some documents, so they had a good case.
Yeah,
Anyways, that all passed.
okay,
They can't do it. So they finally got the clearance in September
okay,
2023, so they could now get proper finance, go back and get financing and start moving ahead. Rolandi put up all his own money to keep it going in the meantime. He really extended himself. I wouldn't have done it, but he did.
okay,
So due to the multi-million-dollar increase and everything to do with that original concept of this two-story building, it was talked about with Chris, myself, Chris being done, myself and the building inspector, and, you know, so what do we do with this? And I suppose legally you could say, well, you know, you paid the money and that's the permit, and,
mhm,
you know, tough.
mhm,
But it was sort of the gentleman's agreement that this would be applied against the new building permits coming in, but that really can't be decided amongst
mhm,
gentlemen.
mhm.
So when this new official building permit came out just recently, Jason said, well, I don't have the authority to make this happen where I can start applying the 39,000 and start applying these building permits that they do. And it should only be for the building permits, not for electrical, not for anything, just building permits, because that's what the 39,000 was for. So the new building permit right now was an estimate that this new greenhouse, which kind of floored me. They estimated the cost, they being, I guess, working with Jason and Rolandi, was about $1.3 million.
Wow.
And that's how they came up with $6,500.
Okay.
So I looked at it and listened to Jason, listened to Rolandi, and the way I do things, it's always on the basis of fairness and good business practices. I can't see the town keeping that fee and just saying, tough, you're gonna have to pay them all over again individually. You know, especially when I looked at it, what caused all this? It certainly wasn't anything Bill Fleur did.
Yeah,
It was the world collapsing around them, up to and including the cost of bud, marijuana bud,
mhm,
went down 60%.
yeah,
Supply and demand
yeah,
caught up to them.
I know, yeah,
And that's a good thing, because it got to the stage where the bud in a store was so expensive, nobody was,
yeah.
if they were smart, well, I shouldn't say smart. If they had connections, otherwise, they wouldn't change them because you could get it illegally so much cheaper.
Sounds to me like they're making their own brownies.
Thank you for explaining that, because that changes my view of it. I had, from what I was reading, I had a different sort of viewpoint on it.
Have you gone online and looked up Belfort?
Have I gone online to look up Bill?
Yeah. They have properties all over the world.
Yeah,
They're a worldwide company.
you know, when I went online and looked at them, they were only in California. They're not,
California, France, they're in Austria. They're a big company.
Is that Holdings LLC?
you sure that's the same company?
I don't,
It's all Belfort.
Belflor Holdings, Inc.
Yeah,
when I went in there, it wasn't that. Like Rolandi, his other claim to fame is he's got a music store. He has that connection with, the hell's the rapper's name that was in the Biggie with all the tattoos, the guy who says,
Tattoos.
I'm afraid I'm not
Yeah, that's, you get the idea.
up to date. And that guy said it's their best, they have the best product and all that, so.
I mean, they've been, honestly, they've been wonderful to work with. I know they've had all sorts of issues, but I think they've been wonderful to work with. I have no problem with, I think that if they've already paid the 38,000, that we can certainly, I don't
39.
think 39,000, I don't think it's a matter of sort of waiving it really, it's just saying that that. is
Applying it.
applicable towards
Yeah.
this. Yeah,
In accounting terms, we're contraring the account. They have this amount here, and the other complicating factor on all this is the 39,000 was paid in 2021. And so that's a couple of fiscal years
Yeah,
ago, and I
so-
don't go. So, yeah, I'm going, looking at the accounting and I'm going, I guess what I could say to you is, not that I really need any more accounting work, because I'm so involved in everything to do with these building permits. I'm not sure how, if we told Jason it was okay to do that, I would keep track. I would keep track of the payments that are going against building permits. And then whatever happens, when that 39,225 is either all used up or the project's over, either the balance of it is, that's ours,
Yeah,
or if there's more required, they'll have to pay more.
yeah, that's what you're saying.
And like I said, it doesn't apply to electrical, because that's a different arrangement where the electrician and the plumber, they get a cut of it, and I don't want to get into that.
Yeah.
Touch that. So, and I don't know if what they paid, if anything, to those people in the past.
So I would make a motion to waive the new permit fee of $6,500 for Bellflower. I don't need to go on about that. Is there a second?
What happens?
We're
Am I-
waiving the fee or
Well,
we're
why don't you
paying
just
them
for discussion?
for discussion only?
Okay. So we're not paying them money. They've already paid $38,000.
They're already paid, but we're not giving back money.
No, we're going to apply the previously paid $39,225. We're going to apply $6,500 against it. And are you going to talk about any future?
I think we have to do it as it comes up. I don't think we can waive something we don't know the price of yet.
It's out of the reserve account, right? It's in
Again,
a reserve account, correct?
no, when it was paid,
Would've-
it would have shown us revenue back
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go
yes.
ahead.
Really what the motion needs to say is to allow the, tax collectors, they're the ones, sorry, the treasurer, the assistant treasurer, he disapproved it. Because of what he's talking about, so really you need to make a motion that I can give to the treasurer saying it's okay to use whatever the words are.
Actually,
No,
no,
so you're gonna speak to them and they're gonna believe you that.
no, could you just back up a second? The Jason Ford needs $6,500 for the cost of the building permit.
Right.
Edna just gave me material from the treasurer where he owes, and he didn't know he owed it apparently, because he got the property from Kurt Hansen. The property taxes weren't being paid.
Yeah, I can see that here, the back taxes, 70,000, yeah.
And that's a separate issue altogether. Those taxes have to be paid.
Oh,
Though, and that's what the treasurer is holding it
that's
up.
my-
Okay.
Yeah, it is. It's very confusing. So Jason needs $6,500. The treasurer needs her property
Yeah,
taxes.
totally different, yeah.
Yep.
So is the motion as it stands, okay? That's
Yeah,
fine, okay.
you know,
Mary, question?
And instead of using the word waive, can you just say the $6,500 deducted from the already
Yes,
paid
Yeah.
39,225?
yes.
that's
Amend it
fair.
to say that.
Yeah. Yes.
Please.
Yeah,
That's the contrary. You look puzzled, Michael.
I'm just a little concerned about the fact that we're bridging fiscal years.
Mhm.
And that's why I hope to do it that way, because otherwise I have no idea, because I'm used to traditional business accounting. It would just happen. I don't. If you just if you just apply the fee and say nothing is due because of previous payments. In my book, it's a nothing transaction, but I don't know if,
How that works. So I think we make the motion, we approve the motion, and then we take it to finance to figure out the details.
finance.
To
Sarah.
Sarah and Eric to figure out the details for that, and then if they need us to word it differently or do something different, they can bring it
Yeah.
back.
That sounds fair.
that does.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. Thank you very much for that explanation. I appreciate it.
He's been working his fingers to the bone.
Yes, it's a lot of details.
Who baked the cake? Was it Pelton?
Jennifer Gerard made that.
Oh, okay.
She's very talented.
No, but they did give you your turkey for Thanksgiving,
Who did?
probably the year before that. That's what, yeah.
Oh, yeah, they gave it, oh, I didn't bring that up because, that's one of those things you just gotta go. You have to be so careful saying, nothing's affecting my decision. Not two turkeys.
Not turkey.
That's
They
the
were
answer.
organic. Organic turkey.
Fairness and equity and good business practices are what make my decisions.
There you go.
There you go.
All right, town hall meeting with Senator Mark and Representative Vega. I did respond to their email. Did you guys see that? I see that you do. Okay. I hadn't heard anything. Have you heard back from them?
Yeah, we could do.
Okay.
The 23rd at 9 AM, is that correct?
Yeah, I haven't heard anything back from them. That was the original request from them.
Okay.
Asking them something.
Okay.
You touch base.
I touched base. I just said, yes, we're happy to host. Just please work out the details with Mike. And then sorry, I can't make it.
I believe we're gonna.
Okay.
Yes.
They said it's from Canada.
If you, Joanne will be better with the details for this, but if we wanna, we should probably check out it into taking some funding out of the select board's expense for coffee. We can talk to the town store about, doing some sort of catering for their. Or coffee.
So just realized, I have to ask one question.
Sure.
Do I tell Jason that the board is in favor of doing it, but they just got to get it cleared?
Yeah.
with finance?
Yeah, I would just say that we made the motion and that, we're just waiting for finance to tell us how it works.
Good, thank you.
Thank you very much. Question,
Thank
Mary?
you.
I've been to these meetings before and they're called, comments and
Yeah.
sections or something. And I'm pretty sure that they have brought coffee and donuts. So I would be tempted to ask,
Okay, just, yeah,
do
check with them first.
they, do we
They want
need
us
to
to provide.
provide or are you gonna bring them?
Okay. Either way. Sounds good. And then we have the STAM thing. Huh? Small town administrators in Massachusetts.
Don't know if you want to review it and take a vote next week or. Simply,
Yeah.
this is their legislative priorities and they've asked everyone to endorse.
So this is, I did read over it. It's just, asking that they permanently change chapter 90 formula to increase total funding to more than, 330 million per year to help small towns. Creating fund municipal building assistance authority, regional support, reform education funding formulas. Create regional incentives for districts looking to create sustainable pathways. Increase state procurement thresholds to reduce admin and cost burdens of small towns. Improve prevailing wages. Reform the pilots. Staffing and support for Office of Rural Affairs, reduce admin burdens, to prevent small towns from getting state grants, oops. Here. I lost the other half of it. I think I have that here. I think I have that. Every time I think this is touchscreen, they'll never get any better. And then, yeah, that's it.
That's it, yeah.
So yeah, I would make a motion to support the 2024 legislative priorities for small town administrators of Massachusetts. Is there a second?
I'll second it. Just wondering if $330 million is gonna go that far.
Well, it's better than.
Better than nothing.
Any discussion?
No.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, and then. Oh, there was an email from Karen about. Planning an emergency, let me pull it up. The meeting needs to take place regarding the consent order from the Department of Environmental Protection to review emergency action plan for Blanford. That is now in place. They're suggesting March 7th at 4. This went out to police chief, fire chief, highway, board of health. Mike and us. I can't do a 4 o'clock meeting, which is what I let them know, but
When is this?
they're looking to do March 7th at 4. I can do March 7th at 5. I can't do 4. 5 is pushing it. So I just responded that, and then I was gonna let her know, does that work for you, Mike, that March 7th?
Yeah, work from there,
Okay.
work on it.
So I guess I will just respond that March 7th works, at 5 o'clock, works for everyone else who can do it, and, in the select board chambers. Okay, no. I think that's it, that's all I have. You got anything else?
Not me.
All right,
I have one small thing I forgot
Yes.
to put on my list. You asked me last week about the expenditures in the technical service, which is at 90% in the
Mhm.
treasurer's office. Apparently that's where she's being paid from.
okay,
And I know there was some history there with some problems, and they're not taking out of the salary line. It's being taken out of the special services line. So at some point, we're gonna have to transfer some of that salary line to
into
the,
the special services,
Yes.
okay, but I don't think we can. We can't go between salary and,
I will talk to the
yeah,
finance people and.
we can't do that until like June or
Or,
something.
or we can put it on, the transfer on, special.
Yeah, it's, well, my question would just be why it wasn't voted that way in town meeting. So, yeah, that's what I would ask, is this to Sarah? Yeah, I would just ask Sarah why we didn't vote it that way in town meeting, why the change, and then. She knows that we can't move money between those accounts until,
Well, we can do it as special.
yeah. So we can do it then, and then I guess if we're gonna do it in special, do we move all of it? You know, what is,
Probably,
you know, that would make
or
more
at
sense.
least enough to cover the rest of the year.
Exactly, yeah, so what that cost would be, what the price would be. All right. Thank you for the cake. The meeting adjourned 7:11.
You wanna take, his home? Because I didn't wanna look at the videos.
Violet wouldn't fight me on that, but I'm not right.
That's a good name.
Yes, we'll be stranded tomorrow indoors. The meeting in March